Hello, yeah, Bashim Shai. Okay, and honestly, brothers, the honest, the apostles of GMS, and honestly, brothers will be pushing this truth in sincerity. All right, this is gonna be a relatively quick video. All right, on the top of the topic that you have before you, and it says here, time for more natural approaches. Study finds medical errors are the third leading causes of death. Now, I'm gonna really go into it from the medical side of it, but I'm gonna deal with the precepts in a second. Like I said, it's gonna be a quick video. What they're going to show you in this article is, as the title of the article says, man, the third leading cause of death, I believe, out there in America, is medical errors. All right. So getting the wrong prescription, of which all of them prescriptions are incorrect anyway. All right, because it all goes back onto that alchemy, man, which is dealing with witchcraft. All right. So for the most part, man, you just do, that doesn't heal the problem. Most of them things just mask the problem. All right, and they have enough in there to make you addictive to it. So you keep coming back, and hence you make them money, man. It's all a big business. In fact, pharmaceutical companies have got one of the largest business models out there, one of the biggest, most profitable models out there, and one of the most influential business models out there because they have more influence on the government and the governing bodies and legislation and so on and so forth. All right, it's only comes second none to Monsanto, man. All right, so it says the ignorant vilification and unethical suppression of natural plant-based approaches to medical uses of both mental and physical nature has long been exposed to the world to see. All right, however, the proponents of pharmaceutically derived mechanistic mechanistic medicines point to a high success of the industry. But considering, so like, let me close that down. Okay, but considering that in the US alone, around 290 people die from prescription drugs each day. Okay, so from prescription drugs, you have 290 people that die from that, man. Now you talk to me about, genocide, because for the most part, those are going to be Jakes, those are going to be Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, are going to be on them prescription drugs, trying to deal with them curses, man. And that goes into that precept that I was going to pull out here, but I might as well pull it out now because it's relevant. All right, it says, "Woe unto the Isaiah 30:1, woe to the rebellious house, or rebellious children, rather more, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. All right, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. All right, and say." And that they may add sin unto sin. Okay, now really this goes into something else, but the fact of the matter is, man, you got the men of the Lord, the elders, all right, that teach you the truth, they teach you about the herbs, they teach you about how to get the real medicine, the real healing. And guess what, man? A physical manifestation of this healing is going to come about, where with the Most High is going to impart that spirit within the elders, just like how it was in the time of the Acts, all right, where with they're going to get into a state where they're going to be manifesting spiritual powers, man. Right, not just the elders, but really starting with the elders and then all the way on down, man, to where the least guy is gonna be doing miracles and healing people and that, man. All right, well, if you're gonna have it to where thousands of people are gonna be adding it one day, man, because you're gonna see the spiritual power, man. Okay, but for the elect, all we needed to hear was the word. All right, for some people, the 1/3, they're gonna have to see those miracles, which is why Yahushua came on the scene and he did what he did, man, so that they would have known that he was the man of the Lord. Okay, that he was man of the Lord, that he was the son of the Most High, man. Alright, it says, but not of me, and cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. So you want to eat your bacon, your pork, and whatever, the potter's foods that are contrary to the scriptures. Alright, and therefore you get all of these high blood pressure, and all of them curses, all of the curses written within the book of the law take hold of you. Alright, and in order to fix those curses, you go out there and you deal with medicines, man. And it's showing you here in this article, man, that 290 people a day die from them prescription drugs, right? Each day, all right. And he calculates it to 250,000 people are dying from medical errors each year. This is simply not true. Dealing with the success that the pharmaceutical companies have been so-called having, right? It says, and a Discovery article makes it clear why medical errors are the leading cause of death in the United States of America. right? That's just the U.S. alone. It says people don't just die from bacteria or heart plaque, right? They die from communication breakdowns, fragmentation, healthcare, diagnostic mistakes, and overdosing. All right, so that's not just dealing with Israel cutting you up. That's dealing with you getting the wrong diagnostic. Okay, so they're giving you the wrong prescription. But see, they're dealing with it on a on the principle of having the right pharmaceutical drug. And for the most part, really what they have is the plant extract, right, that really heals you, and then they put their mush, their poison to it, man. So one, you get addicted to it. Two, you get a little bit of the healing benefit to it. Okay, because if it didn't really help you, or at the very least mask the pains you're going through, then it was gonna have you ain't gonna deal with the drug. You ain't gonna deal with the penicillin and paracetamol and all the way on up to the insulin and so on and so forth, which I believe cinnamon can rid you of that dependency on insulin injections. All right, so that whole system's been set up for your destruction, man, and to keep you hooked on their drugs and their medicines, man. And that's why they shun and there was a recent story only last year where they killed certain herbologists. And I don't know if that's the right term, but I'll use it for a lack of a better term, for a lack of a better word. They killed off a lot of them herbologists, man, because they were destroying the pharmaceutical industry, man. All right, so it says a discovery. Read on down. It says, and people don't just die from bacteria but plaque, right? They die from communication breakdowns, fragmented healthcare, right? Diagnostic mistakes and overdosing. All right. It says they also refer to suspicious lack of reporting of medical error, right? Suspicious lack of reporting of medical errors that the U.S. and other governments failed to publicize. Okay. It says along with more than 100 other nations, the United States uses a system of collecting national health statistics recommended by the World Health Organization that does not keep track of medical errors. All right. So it says, and they showed you that them medical errors is not just what happens on the table, man, where they're cutting you up. That goes all the way on down from where you're getting your prescriptions, man. All right. So it says here, this is obviously brings the entire medical paradigm into question, right? Paradigm into question. And it says, of course, there have been many amazing successes from the modern day approach to medical care, such as surgery and some pharmaceuticals. These tools have been invaluable addition to humanity, yet, which really that's not true. It says, yet, how do we know which so-called modern medicines are actually worthy to disperse at large and which are not? And they show you in a lot of the movies that they just sign off some of these, man. Right, some of these so-called drugs, they just sign them off, man. They don't really, they're not concerned about that, man. They're concerned about the paycheck. Okay, and how do we know when a really important medicine has been developed in comparison to a pill that is primarily for profit? All right, so they're telling you that. So really, I'm not going to read too much more of that article. You can pretty much get the gist of what they're saying. All right, so I'm gonna get into some precepts now. Like I said, it's gonna be a quick one. And this is starting first with the book of Proverbs, the 29th chapter, and the first verse, and says, the second verse was, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So when Esau came into power, man, right, and he started pushing forth his alchemy by way of his medicine system and so on and so forth, right, with the pharmaceutical drugs, right, masking people's ailments rather than treating them, people started to mourn because this article was proving to you right there and then that third leading cause of death, right, is pharmaceutical and medical errors, man. All right, let's go on to the next precept, dealing with the same thing, Revelations 12 chapter and the 12th verse. Now, this is also going to go into the martial law and so on and so forth, but really, you can use it to apply to the same thing. So it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and to the sea, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth after short time. So he's going to use his medicine to use it to accomplish his try to accomplish his so-called new world order, right, by depopulating the earth and so on and so forth, man. He's going to use that. Okay, notwithstanding, he's going to use the biological weapons. He's going to use the missile and all of that. He's got all kind of tools is his dispensation. Okay, one of which is this medical and pharmaceutical industry. Okay, so it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, ye that dwell in them, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, for the devils come down unto you having great wrath, because you know if you have a short time. All right, so we read this one, and I'm gonna finish off in the book of Psalms, the 55th chapter, on the 21st verse, because Esau's gonna come and bring these medicine and these so-called healing drugs and that, and he's gonna do it in the most smoothest and most deceptive way possible, so he can make that dollar out of you, man. What really war is in his mind, because he's gonna kill you off slowly but surely and take your money at the same time, man. So that's why the scripture says it here. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet swords were drawn. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna say Kahalau Yabashim Shai. Alright, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.